Hello and welcome to JHGS News. Today we will be discussing the impacts of technology, both negative and positive. Now Henry will interview the head of the music department at JHGS.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
We would like to ask you some questions about the positive and negative impacts of using technology within the school.
Okay.
How do you feel about the increasing use of technology within the curriculum?
I think it's very positive. I think that by embracing technology we've been able to do a lot more interactive tasks within a classroom, engaging more students.
I think it's quite a good thing because it allows us to just research stuff online, complete homework. It just makes a big positive impact.
I think it's really made teaching a very different job to how it used to be.
There is that aspect that you've got people play on iPads and stuff, but I don't think it's that much of a big deal. I think the positive outweigh the negatives quite a lot.
Recently the music department has invested in some virtual reality headsets. How are they being used to help education?
Well, the VR headsets are something that's a next generation. They're kind of what's going to happen next. And in looking at them, the kind of things you can do with those are do school trips without needing a passport. Something that I've used them for in classes. We were studying a piece by Mozart, and I was able to put them in a virtual reality world in a church in Salzburg while they were listening to the piece, which enables them that experience of seeing something amazing without ever leaving the classroom. They can be used in lots of ways outside of music as well. One of the other ways that we've looked at was in a biology lesson where you've got the opportunity to see a beating heart in front of you and then turn it around as you wish and see it, which gives again a more immersive education than perhaps just looking at it on a piece of paper.
Do you feel that there are any problems with using technology in school?
I think that with technology, the more that you've got, the more support you require. The technology itself is always going to be something that moves forwards. And with students having access to their own iPads, quite a lot of the time you're able to see things much quicker than the education can keep up with if it's not supported. So trying to stay on top of all the different aspects and workarounds to make sure that everybody's getting a good experience is tough unless it's got appropriate support in order to make sure that everything works as we intend it for a good experience.
Do you believe that we're dependent on a lot of technology because of this?
Yes. I think that if we haven't got a robust infrastructure, I think if we lost the internet for a month, I think that everybody would look at each other a little bit confused as to what to do, and they'd have to work out how to write in a homework diary, and the registers would all have to be taken on paper and put somewhere. So no, we do depend a lot on technology now, and if we lost that, I can see it having quite a major impact if it was for a prolonged period. In the short term, there's always going to be moments, but no, we are quite dependent upon it now.
Do you think that using these resources can prepare us for our future careers?
Absolutely. I think technology is an area that is growing at a very fast rate, as I've said. For example, I went out to the shop last night. When I left, I got into my car without a key. I drove to the shop, I paid with my phone. I then got back in the car and drove without needing a key. And then you end up at your front door and suddenly realise that you need an actual physical key to get through the front door, and it's the first time you've had to hold something. I think technology is growing very fast and something that you need to make sure we stay on top of. And as students, things like music technology as an A-level is very vocational. You walk out of that into any number of roles within the industry of media, similar to what we're doing today. So there are an awful lot of technology-based vocations that are now there, and the more we're familiar with it and can use it appropriately, the stronger our application and the more interest we'll drive in moving forwards.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.